figure out what we can do. What we can do. What we gonna need for what we got to do. What we gotta do. We gotta choose. Oh, it's not product placement. Can't afford music, so we got to make our own. So we don't copyright infringe on nobody. Gotta make our own songs. What does it? Theme song. What does it? What does it? What's still up? What's up, chat? Today, I didn't get dressed up for my son's trombone recital today, but we're just gonna go ahead and do some bad and bougie woodworking. I still got the fit on. So what we're hoping to do today is build a new bench top. Now, what I know is that this is one of the best things I ever put in the shop, one of the best things I ever built. I'm gonna do another one. And I want it to be a little bit bigger because I sometimes I need more space. Look at this. Look at this. Shameful. Let me turn the fan this way and see if I didn't anticipate that. Alright. I mean, I'm in a good shot. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Salt Life? So what we're going to do is go ahead and build the bench top ourselves out of another similar situation, a little bit bigger, and we're also going to build in like a support leg over on this side so that we don't get as much wobble as we're getting right now. Carnage, what's up, man? I'm going to get this to you, man. I just got a couple things that got to go out, so I want to do them all at the same time, so forgive me, and I appreciate your patience. Bro, hand. Snap. Almost foot. Because I'm so powerful. That's why. So oh, I'm having a wardrobe malfunction. This ain't the halftime show. Getting sued. All right, so I'm gonna get another. Thanks for the like, I appreciate that. Whoever did it. I like the gangster. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Imagine doing a live today with 3 new things unboxed in my live. Oh man, did I miss it? Or are you doing it later? Is what you're saying. Like my tummy poke out over here. Jeez, I'm losing all the way around. Yikes. Yikes. Either way, let me get to this work. I'm going to do it in probably 15 minutes. Cool if I sub Carnage? Please sub Carnage. He is my homie. Carnage is my #1 supporter. Hands down, all the analytics support that, and I appreciate it. I'm going to keep looking out for my brother. Listen, Carnage, let me tell you something. Because you're my #1 bud, I got questions for you. This is your mallet so far, right? These are options for my subs too. Once you're a subscriber and you're a member of the channel, you get these kind of perks. Okay, this is the one we intentionally kind of specifically built for you. Since then, I built this one, and I built this one yesterday on the live. You do have an option, since I have not shipped out. You can hang on to the one you got, or you can swap for one of these new ones. All untouched by anybody but me. All brand new. Let me know. So you tell me you got it either way. Because I haven't sent them out, so I'm like, why don't I give my guy some more options? You know what I'm saying? So that's all. I love the one that I did specifically for you. But I'm going to give you choices on it because you're the one. Thanks, Note. I appreciate that. I want the one you made me specific. I knew you could say that. Go. I got you. Carnage, Mallet. Boom, boom. I should have made it where you can like tuck a blade in the handle or something. I'll think about that. There may be a way to do something like that. Love to have your name engraved in it. What do you want? Carnage? I don't know that I'm good enough to hand engrave a lot. I can do. I'll show you my first attempt at this. I already gave away my second attempt at that. That was for my brother. But I carved that W in that mallet. But it is a very rustic design. This is so comfortable. Every time I hold it, it's just a joy. But yeah, what do you think? You want like, yeah, carnage? I'll figure out how to do that. Don't cry. We'll figure out. We've been patient. We wait for like what, a week and some change now? So yeah, we can do that. That's a brute. I might have to shorten that handle. It feels like a sledge. This one. It's so good. Yeah, I got what you're saying, bro. I definitely ain't misinterpreting you. But look, let's get to the build. Let's get to the build. And the build is this fantastic tabletop. This is becoming very purpose-built in its appearance. Y'all know I loosen it and let it out from this vise here. It's on the side of my bench. It's also an option to take on and off. But sometimes I want a little bit more space for my sharpening and a little bit more space to set things. So I'm gonna make one about twice as big as this in the same fashion. And then this way also, I get a lot of questions about this. This way you guys can see how I built it. It's really simple. But we'll just build another one, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off, set it to the side, and we'll get going. Yeah. So, things that were good about the whole situation is the surface itself. Butcher block is great for this, and it has turned out to be one of the best things that I've done here is put butcher block on that. Sorry, I'm tucking away these mallets. I got them all over the place, so I need them out of the way right now. So I like this size, I like this width, I like this depth. So what I need to put on a leg on this side that can grab into that, into the, I'm not losing words, I'm turning into an old ass man, into my vise that I got on the side. And it's a $20 vise. And this is like a $20 bench too, with the lumber that I did. And now I'm just going to take this leftover butcher block from 1,000 years ago. I'm going to put me a runner on this back side right here so it can line up with the block. I am going to put a leg on this side so it can sit on, so that it will have this resting point and then another resting point that just sits on the bench, so I don't get a lot of teetering, which I have been getting out of that one that I just took off. And if I had made that this big, it definitely not only teeter, but it might even break that joint. And because I don't want that to happen, let's go ahead and get it figured out. And we might even go through the process of sanding some of this stuff down and making it pretty. I'm not gonna bother with the bottom side. This was just, you know, I used this as a surface before on milling up some stuff, painting some stuff. And it's just been sitting in the corner of the shop ever since. And I got a new job for it. So let's go ahead and get the things that we need to figure out how to do this. So first we're going to need to fasten something here on the side that's going to catch with this. Do it like this. Get down here. Something that's going to lock into this vise. Okay. And so roundabouts, this will put about center of our bench if I put something right in there somewhere. And if I want some support on this side, I'll need to put something right in here somewhere. I'm going to need this side to be about 1 inch higher than what I do over here, so it can rest here and count for the hardware that this side is going to be limited by. So we're going to do that plus 1, whatever that is. Now, based on what we have before, I like that height. I wouldn't mind it being 1 inch or 2 higher. So I'm going to put you back to a manageable size. And then we'll put that runner there, that runner there. We're essentially going to do it the same way. Late morning coffee. All right. What do we have we can do that with? So what do we have? Already scrapped and ready in the shop. All right. Some random plywood and a 2x12. That'll work. That'll do both of these legs, runners, or whatever you want to call it. Call it what you want to call it. I'm a okay. We're going to cut this 2 lengths. That one's got a little mold on it. We're going to have to spray that with something after we finish our build. This is all scrap stuff. So, you know, we're going to put up with a certain amount of, you know, imperfections, we shall say, character items. This is not going to be necessarily precision woodwork, so you're going to notice I'm going to use these big old fat markers just so y'all can see a little bit better what I'm doing. So I'm going almost full length here because I want to do a glue up, and I want as much adhesion as possible because I don't want to rely on the screws really at all. And then I'm also going to give myself, I'm going to approximate with this. I'm going to just run it right at half-ish, you know, guessing. And then whenever I run that with the saw, I'll just cut straight through it. So I'm going to do this 2 ways, but I'm going to do both ways on the chop saw over there because I'm wild and reckless. Same thing on this one, but I'm just going to go maybe right down. Remember, we got an inch different, so let me do that right now. Let me get a tape on it. You can't freestyle everything. Can't freestyle. All right, 15 inches is what we got, more or less. You may as well run it the full length of the board to get maximum support the whole while. We got a mark there, if you can see it. Put our speed square back on it. mark an X on the piece that we're going to toss because we don't want to accidentally put our blade on the wrong side trying to get this piece and we end up with that one. And then we got a short piece of wood. Nobody likes a short piece of wood. Y'all want to go over to the table zone? Okay. First, why don't you hit your ride on this guy here. Follow me. It's a little, let's say, slightly lightly disorganized in here today. I apologize. I'll be apologizing to y'all too much. You know what? Never mind. It's terrible, and I don't care. All right, wait a second. Where's my hole? I swore I had a camera hole over here. Thought I did. Guess I didn't. Here's what we're gonna do. Hold on one second. Gotta figure out a way for y'all to see this safely. There you go. We'll cut this and we're actually gonna rip this. The question is, do we just rip it first? Or do we have it? Yeah, we can. Remember, we got to be an inch different. So that tape measure we just got distracted from. Let's go back to it. I'm going to cut this two ways. I'm going to cut it that way, length, then we're going to cut it width. Let me just park this right here for demonstration purposes only. Full length, we got 9 inches, right? That would make this a 2x10. And what we want is to hit that thing right at the 5-inch mark, because that's going to give us a 4 and a 5. And that's exactly what we're after. 5 on the right, 5 on the right. Make our 2 marks. If we were doing rough carpentry, we'd do this. And that would tell us the center of the line. That's called a crow's foot. Crow's foot. Technically, some guys would do it like that. And then you go to the very center. Now you know the very center of the mark. Because your mark could be crooked. But your crow's foot comes to an absolute point. All right. Let's see, we need a straight edge to connect the dots. You can really use anything for that you can confirm is straight. I'm going to use this little piece of scrap wood because that's how I roll picked out. I'm going to hold that relatively straight. Now we got us a line. We got no X on either one of these because we need both of those. So when we cut this, we won't go either side of the line. We'll go right down the middle of that line. On this one, we're going to cut on this side of the line because we're going to keep all of this material. I'm going to chop it this way first. This is a cheat. This also I don't advise for people because it's a cheat. dirty, rotten cheater. Don't do this at home. Those guys in the comments that are saying I don't know what I'm doing are right. Don't do this. Don't do what I do, nephew. I do this woodworking, cuz, so you don't have to go through it. You feel me? And in that way, I teach the younger generation not to get caught up in the triz of it that we be getting kids out of, is it? Ain't that what them old rappers be saying to y'all? Alright. We'll get back over here. And we're going to do essentially the same thing. Now, this is a with a grain. It's not advised. It's not advised. This is not the way to use this saw. Do it different than this. Please don't do it this way. I'm only pretending this works. This is not actually working. Faking it. Studio. Never happened and you didn't see nothing. Let's more so I would be so in the past life with the 4-star light bulb. Nitro, mic flows, mic go, nitro, right close, light bulb. My sound panel, the concrete light bulb. Lining up where we want our tube body to go is what we're doing here, so that we can find it again once we cover up this mark. Same on this side. Just want to find it again once we put these glue ups on here. But before we glue these onto here, we got to screw these into here. So let's find a way to do that and a way to do that, or vice versa, because this is a shorty over here. Shorty's going in the clamp. Alright, so we're going to put some glue here, we're going to put some glue here, we're going to put those together, we're going to put screws through it. We need some screws. Let's see if drywall screws will work. Yes, there's plenty. Grab a handful of those. We can drill. We're out for threads. So here we are with the drill. We're going to pre-drill some holes. so that we can get this thing started. I think that's too big. We'll go a little smaller for drywall screws. Tighten that up. And let's just put that right there alongside it, so that way we can line it up nice. We're going to want some glue in between there though. This will be our first work for our workbench. Screw a bunch of holes in it. Now this is plywood, and the reason why it's okay that I'm not staggering these screw holes is because it's plywood. And it's not going to rip, it's not going to create a split. Now here, if I were going with the wood, I probably wouldn't do that. If I was doing solid, I would stagger those. But right now, I'm just trying to keep the best line that I can. Ouch. And then we're just going to make sure we lock that in to that, and then clamp everything down. I got some fresh glue in here this morning. And some old wood. I am going to over glue this. It's no big deal because this is not going to need to be pretty underneath there, but it is going to need to hold. And it is going to always be under some sort of leverage. And I'm going to use a flat side that I just cut, so I got the best surface area that I can have. And if one feels inclined to smear that, you can, but you can also do this and get the same effect, basically. And again, we're going to flip this over. We're going to use our ends to kind of line up center. Center here. Same thing back here. And then I'm going to pre-drill. Pull that. Get us a Phillips head out of here. And then I like to start on the end and get my two outside screws established. Everything else should be fine after that. And basically these two boards will be together forever now. So the next goal is to put this board and that big board together in exactly the same fashion, but we will have to check the length of the screws to make sure we don't come out the other side of our board here. So now we lock on like that, right? And we got our support from that side. And now we just have to line this up with our previously set up situation. We can use our square to keep it there. And once we know we're there, we make a big old line. Move it out the way, make another big old line. And now we know where our glue up can go. And essentially, You know what they say about this. This is adding a bunch of daggone glue. A bunch of daggone. Not a dab, as my partner says, over there working the Viking wood. Alright. Same thing here is what we talked about. We just want to make sure we get a squeeze out. And some things are suggested to be systematic ways to ensure that you get certain results. And then there is also just understanding the parameters and aiming straight at the results without some of the excess. Now I'm going to put a few screws in here to hold it. Real quick. Can't tighten that bit hard enough. Butcher block is relatively thick, hardy stuff usually. So you're definitely going to want to pre-drill. And in my case, I want to lock it in place while I pre-drill the rest of these holes. I don't want it sliding around. Like these things can do. So there's one, and then there's one in the opposite corner now. And I don't really have to concern myself with its movement. At this stage, if you were able to just leave it alone, 4 screws would hold this just fine if you've got all that glue behind it. If you don't, then, you know, more screws. But me, I'm going to be moving this around and agitating it pretty quick, and probably not going to wait the 12 hours or whatever they suggest for the glue setup. So I'm going to use a few more screws to make up for that. I'm going to be mechanically fastened while my chemical fastening sets up. And you can use epoxy and it will go faster. If there's a strength difference or not between the two, I haven't noticed one yet. I like getting that squeeze out. That little sound you're hearing is that bit jumping off of that screwdriver, because this is almost the right bit. It's not exactly the right bit. A little cheapo. Man, the impact wouldn't, I hate to say it, but my impact wouldn't make that problem either. Alright, once again, let's go ahead and populate this boy here. A couple of lines down the side, this side and that. Flip it over. Give ourselves an opportunity. Send some drill holes through. Temporary hold. Way more glue than we need. Oh, we got a little lip right here, so let's get that off of there. Hold on. We don't want that interfering with our ability to glue up. Should have noticed it before now, huh? It's alright. As long as we got chisels, we got go. Alright. We'll just line those two up with each other. Flip them right back on over. Double check the line up. Good and good. See the hole through. See the hole through. I don't know what that sounds like. I'm saying send a hole through. We got some Weisenheimers in there. Let's grab us a handful of screws again. These are 1 5/8" drywall screws. My favorite length, if I don't have anything else in the way, per my finger thickness. How uncouth. We wipe clean. Get him up out of our way. Get them out of our way. Just for a second. But we still need what we need. Flip them over. Let's line up a place to be. And that is that red line that we found earlier. We're going to keep that relatively similar. How can we make sure that we're in the same place? Let's just set it right here. And if we can follow it, then we're good. Now, all we got to do is the glue up. Same thing. Clip with the big red mark. Throw some glue in there. Now I do have a projecting screw. I just noticed that. I'm going to go ahead and countersink him. He will hold us up a little bit. It's spinning, so it definitely will hold us up. Let's go in another spot. Let's just make a fresh hole. Alright, that bit. Did a little bit better. You gotta do it by a little bit better. You gotta be better by most, but you gotta be a little bit better. Good right there. All we got to do is get two of them started to get the piece anchored in place. And then we can proceed with the rest of our install without no problem. Because we're going to bump up against our side here, and we don't want to move that thing all around, right? Like we already shifted once. So what we're going to do is barely go through. And see how I grabbed a little bit, but not much? I'm going to back that out with my finger a little bit. And then back it back out and slide it. And it's going to find that pre-drilled hole. There it is. And now, I can send it down. And now that those two are locked in, I really can just kind of go. But the pre-drilling ain't a bad idea. But that butcher block ain't likely to split. It's tough, you can hear it. Let me get 4 on each side because I'm a G. All right. Terrible bit, but it worked. All right, now it's official, like a referee with a whistle. Let's move this butt off the way. June, hello from the UK. How's it going? It's a beautiful day, isn't it? Alright, y'all see what's happening right now? Y'all see what's happening right now? Alright. I'm going to go ahead and lower into our situation. Oh. Oh, do you see that? I don't even know how to give you the perspective that you need for this. Okay. We now have, we locked on over here in the vise. We got the leg. Y'all see how it got built. Then over here, we're holding down this side. It's just a block sitting underneath here. Right? And now, we're going to test it out. Yes. So, that's going to hold all of our woodworkery. All of the stuff we need help. Let me go ahead and get me a forging bit. Continue the modifications. Scientific, what's going on? Your videos have helped me start to post my own. Keep being awesome. Man, that is incredible. Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate that. We are all out here trying to have a good time and inspire another good time. Because, you know, that's what we're here for. And it's good to know it's working. And it's good to know it's inspiring people. Because the numbers don't always, you know, if I'm being honest, the numbers don't always feel very encouraging. But the people absolutely do. And you're one of those people, and I appreciate it. Now, we're going to pop this up on here because one of the things we know we got to deal with is camera stuff, right? So, I'm going to drill me a little hole. It's just a noggin knocker right there. And we don't have this exact bit, but we got close enough to give it an easy access and let him wiggle about if he needs to. show what I'm gonna do. Just put it in this far corner right here. And now, I got a place to sit you. Good enough for government work is what I always say. For sure. Hey, the other one is looks great from my house. Except it's actually my house. So let's go ahead and put these Forstners away. They did their job. I'm telling you, these green tools have been doing work for a few years, man. I'm gonna tell you how to run your shop. I'm not gonna tell you how to run your shop. But over here, we're saving bread. And still building cool stuff. All right, I got 83 people. I got 10 likes, and I put my Sunday go to meet and suit on for you. And what you've decided to do is not drop anything in the collection plate this Sunday. Nothing. Nothing. All right. Nothing. This ain't even a like you can't give somewhere else, right? It's like if you don't give $1 in the collection plate, like you could have bought a soda, right? The likes you have in your pocket right now are unlimited. You can do this with your finger for free, as much as you want. But it's not free. It gives me something for free. It gives me something. It does do that. Anyway, enough of my beggary. One time for delicious coffee. So good. So good. All right, now that we have this built, do we refine it? And if we are going to refine it, do we refine it now? Thank you for the person who did that like. I appreciate that. I'm messing with y'all. I'm not really that hardcore about it, but it does help me whether I ask for it or not. So thank you. Also, donations, memberships, likes, subscriptions, all of it helps. Check out those free shorts. My shorts are where it's at on this channel and the lives. But that's how I'm working. What was the other thing we were supposed to build today? We needed this tabletop. We're thinking about some cane work, right? On this one. Now that we got space to maneuver. And there may be additional modifications for this bench because the other one does have our cane hole and it does have a place to lock on a sandpaper bit. So that's pretty good. But what y'all been doing this Sunday other than sweating your pits out? Paint the ceiling red? Is that a song? There's gotta be a song. There's gotta be a song, Skull Roller. But maybe, I've been thinking about maybe trying to do a sort of a Celtic-esque pattern. Skull Rider says, nah, it's a 12 gauge paintbrush. I think that's the kind of music that probably go with a thing like that. I'm trying to be your backup sinker, your accomplice in crime. All right, let me see if I can find a proper tape to run this pattern that I think I want to run on this cane. We're going to hand carve that though. All hand carving today, I think. This works so good. Ah! Should have been a short building it. Should have. Let me see if I can find it. There's method to this madness. It's going to be mad looking initially. But that's alright. We're going to figure it out. I think I want to start here. I don't need my whole tape. But you hate when that happens? Ugh. Make me feel like Glorilla. Ugh, ugh, ugh. If I can get a comfy starting point here somewhere. If you look straight down on a wraparound like this, you can sort of see both sides at the same time, and you can get really close to square by doing that. If you happen to be building your own canes at home. So I'm doing that, so I got a stop point. This is my start point at the top. I'm going to have a stop point somewhere here. And I need to define it. With a whole piece of tape instead of a half. Come on, you cur. Sucky thing about paper tape, painter's tape, is it will contour and curve a little bit. So if you bend it out of shape, you won't get a straight line sometimes. You have to be aware of that when you're working with this stuff. You're pulling it tight is not necessarily going to guarantee you straight. In some cases, it's going to guarantee you the opposite. This is shiny and weird because it's already got finish on it. It's got epoxy on it, but we're going to still carve right through it. And that might be a little bit of a challenge, but we're not going to trip it too tough. We'll go ahead and get some measurements on this thing and try to aim our tape around it for the pattern that we're after. So we'll at least have a repeatable pattern is what we're after. Into the future. We're going to transfer those lines and continue them to the other side. Because we are gradually tapering up, that could get weird, so I'm just adjusting it just a little bit to keep it from twisting unintentionally. So we got that all the way down. So the next thing we're going to try to do is send a spiral around, but we want it consistently the same. Yes, I know this is weird, but I also know that I will never do anything else with this piece of material. So, I am going to use it because I like the thickness of what's leaving me behind. And I'm going to just send it around and hit dead center that corner each wrap. And that way I'll be going an upward spiral in the same dimensions, you know what I'm I'm saying? Sort of a screw. And then so once I get to the top, go ahead and cut that loose. Alright. And now my pattern is giving me something tangible. And what I'm going to do is trace it. I might go, I'm considering going a little heavy-handed on this because I'm going to pull this off and I don't want to miss a mark with this pencil. So I'm considering doing something. I think the pencil will be fine. It's kind of a slick surface, but I think the pencil will be fine. Convince myself sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Flip them over. Alright, let's pull it back apart, see what we got. And now the decision is just, are we leaving that material, right, or are we taking away that material? And then, is that the end of what we're doing? And I gotta say no. I gotta say no. We're gonna go the other way and cross right over what we were doing on the other side. End up with two patterns intersect one another, and we hope to be a clever and fun-filled or a catastrophe. See which. something very satisfying about chasing a pattern. Be honest with you. I'll shoot you straight, David Trukey. Alright, I think we're done. Wrapped around there. We wrapped around there. And we got quite a busy happening. Design-wise, let's take a look at it so you can see it. There's some material here. You got to define the areas that we're going to get rid of, right? And then you can sort of see where we're headed pattern-wise. Staying on the outside of these ribbons, sort of defining where our shadows are going to go. What's inside, what's outside, what's proud forward, what's shallow going back, so on and so forth. And then the intersections we'll have to deal with separately and differently. I'm doing these little swirls so that I can sort of give myself a gauge on how far I'm going with my chisel before I call it good, so to speak. And this is the side that's going to be full of intersections, intersecting pieces. And I think we might be there. We might be there. So what I think we'll do is hard line these and then soften up to them. And yeah, I guess we'll have to do that with the chisels. This will need to get stropped. The rest should be okay. Station. Figure out what else we need as we go. Quick beverage break over there. Right back. I'm gonna touch up the coffee. Mm, mm, mm. Hey, Ian, how you doing today? Sorry, Chad, I can't see this screen very well. I'm trying not to impale myself. Today we are doing a king. We made our tabletop. It worked out wonderfully. I'm working on it already. Yeah, that is a little bit the idea in for a friend of mine who's somewhat of an enthusiast. That's 100% attention. Nice that you caught it. Finally got it. Yeah, 30 light. Okay. So, thanks everyone. I'm going to take a short little break. Maybe a good little break. Grab something to eat, and I'll be back. Now we'll continue to wrap this pattern around this cane. Hopefully we'll have a weave going, and I'll see y'all when I get back. Take it easy. I'm gonna run out of here. I appreciate the likes, everybody who did do one. Everybody who didn't, shame on you. I'll catch y'all when I come back. Depending on what time it is, probably about 5. Anyways, I'll post in. I'll be back. Rest of it.